How do you shift a culture? That's a good question. And in this video, we are going to discover four key areas that need to shift in order to change the culture of a movement. Hi, I'm Jeremy, and welcome to Refresh, where I love to produce content that will refresh your spirit, refresh your mind, and refresh your vision. Today, we are going to continue our mini-series with Mike Betts. If you haven't had a chance to watch the first few, take a moment and click the card up above to catch up. Mike has been on a 6-year journey to build a culture of corporate prayer within Relational Mission. This is the network of churches that he leads. And if you haven't got a copy yet, I would highly recommend that you get his book, Prayers of Many. I have a link to it down in the comments. Today, I'm talking with Mike about what it takes to create a culture of prayer. Let's get right to it.
Anything that is a cultural change, you've got to be very patient and you've got to play the long game. So I would say it takes, even analysts who look at cultural behavior in a secular context would say that the change of culture, you're talking probably 7 years to begin to have a little bit of a shift. So I wanted to, when we started our Enough prayer meetings, which are the vehicle we just in our own family of churches started to use, although it's now expanded to include many other networks of churches wanting to either learn from what we've done or take the model and then do their own thing or join in with us. I think we thought, well, we planned to do it for 7 years, to say, right, 3 times a year, we're going to gather. We'll issue the invitation to gather everyone across Relational Mission, from children to older people, new believers to experienced saints, as it were, in concerts of prayer, 3 times a year for 7 years. And we're going to also, alongside that, use that as a bit of a flagship to stimulate a culture. Just doing the events in itself won't change the culture. But if you attach strategic events to then a reinforced narrative and a reinforced vision casting, you have both the vocabulary and the vehicle to deliver a little bit of change. Right? I think people talk about vision, values, vocabulary, and vehicles. And you've got to have all of those in place to begin to let a cultural change take place. So I wouldn't say as yet, even after we're in our six years now, I don't think that by the end of next year we will have completely transformed the culture of corporate prayer, but I think we've made some significant dents into our vision, values, and vocabulary, and we're seeing vehicles emerge now in numbers of churches that certainly indicate to me that the tide of corporate prayer, the investment in corporate prayer, the priority of corporate prayer is definitely moving up the agenda. So culture change isn't something, as I say, it's not an event you can just say, right, we've done that. It's a process. And I think corporate prayer, therefore, is a process to stimulate change thinking, because change thinking has got to be there before you change your habits. So it's a long journey. You've got to be very patient and also repeatedly say the same things again and again and again and again and again. Almost to the point where you think, surely people are bored with me now. But some people will still hear you after the 50th time and say, oh, I've never thought about that. So, it does require some intentionality of vision casting and implementation.
What stood out for me in that clip was the 4 things that we need to have in place to change our culture: vision, values, vocabulary, and vehicles. Here's a great exercise that you can do for yourself, or if you lead a church or a movement, you can use it even on a larger scale. Take a notebook and on one page, write, how do I cast a vision for prayer? On the top of the next page, what values do I need to emphasize to build a culture of prayer? On the next page, write, what specific vocabulary do I need to create to communicate that idea through the culture? And on the last page, what vehicles can we use to put our vision and values into action? Then prayerfully take time with each page to fill it with as many ideas as you can. And if you're having trouble getting started, why not order or download Mike's books? And hey, if you found this content valuable, why not give it a like or leave a comment below? And if you haven't subscribed already, take a moment to click the subscribe button and the little bell to make sure that you get notified the next time a video comes out. Well, that's all for this time. In the next video, we will be talking about one outcome of the Enough Prayer movement that took Relational Mission by surprise. But until then, keep looking upwards, keep moving onwards, and I will see you in the next video.